like a minty green scrub. And if she's not wearing a minty green scrub, then she's wearing a pink one.
Mm-hmm. So first of all, it's somewhat like you were talking about,
Like
things changing. You have
like
predictable what she will wear.
Well, that's what she wears. Like if she wore something different one time, I didn't recognize her.
Well, one thing that I thought,
like she was one time, like she wore the minty green, like scrub, and then one time she wore the pink one, and then one time she wore the pink top but with the green bottoms, and that threw me off a little bit.
Well, one thing I wonder about, like when I've been visiting, when I travel, I usually don't pack a lot of shoes with me because it takes up room in my suitcase.
Yeah, and you got the red shoes.
Yeah.
Crocs.
Yeah, the red Crocs with the black, they have holes in the top, so it looks like dots.
Yeah.
So then,
except like if they move, they like they got like lines when they move, like the
trails.
Crocs, like when you move the red, it's like red with like little dots, but they become like, they look like stripes almost, like so red blurs, which if they move, if you move slow, then you can see like the lines and stuff. But sometimes it's like red, like I like looking at people's feet.
So a good way for me, if I'm planning a visit with you, it would be ideal because I only have a few suitcases anyway. But it would be ideal for you if I didn't pack with 20 very different kinds of shoes and wear different shoes several times a day, because it would be harder to know it was me, right?
Yeah.
And if I come over to you to say
but
hi,
I could hear you. I would know you right away as soon as you say something.
Yeah. And then,
so it doesn't make a difference because I would recognize your voice.
Right. But if somebody was, say, a younger person with autism, like kids like Jamie Burke, or a kid like Nicolette, or a kid like Dove.
I don't know about how Jamie is, or
yeah.
I know that like the dolphin would recognize your voice too always.
Right. But if she was going to go for speech, and she had to keep looking at a speech, like Dove goes to speech right now, and the speech person will want him to look at their mouth many times.
Yes.
So for someone like Dove who has a hard time with the visuals, it would be helpful maybe, we could ask him too, but it would be helpful maybe for the person to not wear all kinds of different clothes with all kinds of visual pictures all over the clothes and patterns and all kinds of jewelry, because then it's hard for maybe for some autistics to focus on their mouth.
Do you have a speech therapist that does that?
A lot of them do, because most typicals, in all honesty.
But if they're being a speech therapist and they're working with them, wouldn't they try to make things as simpler as possible?
This is what may be amazing to you, but many typicals have no idea how overwhelming this is visually. And with speech, you have to look.
But if she's a speech therapist supposed to be working with autistic people, then wouldn't she have been told that?
I don't know. I'm telling you that I work with many, many therapists who do everything from speech to motor skills and life skills and everything you can think of. And they wear a wide variety of different kinds of jewelries and a wide variety of clothes and everything, and they want.
I guess we're picky with ours. I guess I don't know.
Yeah, but they
don't have a problem telling people when they like annoy me or something. Like I had this one woman, like her voice bothered me a lot, and I couldn't stand the tone her voice. So.
But that's because you can talk and you can initiate. But a lot of people in the autism spectrum
and if
can't
they wear
talk.
perfume, I have to tell them to leave.
Yeah. So if
there's this lady, she put so much like she had perfume and it was so strong, and there's no way she could work with a dolphin like that. I told her she stank, and that her perfume was too much, and that if she could wash herself before she worked on them. I tell them all of this. Take off your earrings if they're too busy or they clank too much.
Because just think, though, if you had someone who's a normal, like a parent, and they know, they really, this all seems like common sense to you, I'm sure.
No, they didn't like me at first because
Well, they just
I had
don't
so
know.
many rules when they would come to work with the dolphin.
And I'll tell you something else. If I
I
look,
tell them no earrings, no perfume, plain clothes. I
See-
don't want shoes that clack, clack, clack. And I don't want like the shrilly voice. And
because see, as a typical, if I look at your shirt, with my vision, it looks very plain to me. And if I were a typical going to see somebody with autism, until I hear it from you, because you can use speech and typing and you can initiate and tell me all this.
but people know about sensory issues and autism. We're in the year 2007.
Actually, a lot of people don't know, Julie, believe it or not. That's why it's important to give this information and give these examples, because so many people, they mean well, but they honestly don't know this. It's hard to believe for you because you know it in your whole being, but for many typicals, even typicals
No,
who
I
are
know they didn't
professionals.
like some of them, but that came in. I would tell them. I'm pretty thing. I would say tell them to redress and we would reschedule the appointment after and stuff. Like even like the dolphin shirt is kind of busy, but I kind of like it because I counted all the dots, like all the pink ones and all the blue ones and all the yellow ones and her dots. But you see, like if I don't have to work on my speech, so I'm not looking at her mouth. I could take the time to like count all the dots on her shirt.
Sure.
See, which is like OCD, but we have a lot of that. So, but I do that. I tell them like that. Like we had somebody come over, and I said they didn't like it too much.
Well, let me ask you something.
Just said that they work for us. So I said, like, come back for work next time, and this is what I don't want you to wear. I don't want you to wear sandals that do the clack, 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 like the clack, clack, clack. I don't want like pants that are too busy or too loud. That's not so bad, but the shirt has to be plain, no clanky earrings, and no perfume.
So Julie, use your eyes for a minute to look at my shirt.
I saw your shirt.
It has all these things on it. What do you think if you're someone younger like Dolphin? Too much?
I don't know about like the dolphin, but no, because I could blur it out. But I can. But she looked at it already.
Yeah. So if a lower functioning, if say I'm a therapist and I'm working with lower functioning kids.
I wouldn't say lower functioning because dolphin is a high functioning smiler.
Yeah.
She is an expert smiler, and she could do it in a way that will make people warm and gushy and look cute every time, and do it at appropriate times and use it to communicate. So she's an expert. So I say she's high functioning smiler.
Okay. Well, if I was working with someone who has sensory issues.
Yeah, like visual, like a
Yeah.
flat, I would try to make it as clear. Like I remember there was this carpet in a hotel, and I kept thinking I was going to fall in between them, and like every time I looked on the floor, I couldn't, like I would in this hotel one time, and it's like carpet, which is soft and everything, but you couldn't go between the crack just because they were like curved, like leafy, like this, and curves, and they had different colors all in between, and they looked like they had depth, like their space, like it made it look three-dimensional. That's what I mean about your eyes playing tricks on you, because you'll see something like carpet or wallpaper and it will look like three-dimensional. Like sometimes like stripes on the walls look three-dimensional and you feel like you could almost like fall between them or go between them, because it doesn't look like it's flat. It looks like it has ridges in it. You know, so that's why you can't trust your eyes all the time, and that's why you have to turn them off and turn.
So one of the things,
like that carpet, I couldn't walk on that carpet unless I walked without looking.
So one of the important things, if someone is for example, a speech therapist, it would be wonderful if they could wear solid color shirts.
Yes.
Without any designs or words or pictures on them.
Yes.
That would
plain.
be helpful. Plain.
Well, if they're going to be working with someone who has visual sensory overload, that would just only make sense. I don't know how overloaded the dolphin gets, but I don't take any chances.
Yeah.
Like if I worked on her doing like the mouthing, and she has to watch my mouth, we are playing. You know, because she has to have her eyes on all the time.
Yeah, and there was something else I was going to ask here with talking. So it sounds like you need to calm down the visual environment and have the person in a physically stable position so they can really concentrate on looking at your mouth.
Yeah, well, I would imagine so. I had bad visual thingies before.
It appears that many autistics do who
have
are
a lot of visual, and that's why you have to, you see, for example, you can't concentrate on what you're hearing, and you can't concentrate on moving your mouth or making sounds if it's taking you like an hour to take in all the visuals. And forget the fact that people, annoying things that they are, never keep still. So, I mean, like a table is going to be where it's at. You know, like here you are in a hotel, see, the hotel lobby, right? Now, first, I just settled down that the carpet is too busy for me to maneuver. It's making me dizzy and nauseous and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And so I stopped looking. I had a corner on, there was a coffee table, and there was like a tiny little one, right, with a phone on it. And then there was like where people could sit there to call the rooms. And then there was like a brown leather sofa. So I would like focus on the sofa.
Yeah.
So on the leather sofa, because it's just brown, and I wouldn't look on the floor. I did like the bridge thing. Don't look down, don't look down. See? You know, like Indiana Jones, don't look down, just keep walking. So I would go straight and make straight to the sofa. Then I will stop and look at another point that I could focus on. And I had to sort of consciously tone down everything else that got in the way. See, so I could go there. But of course, a person crashes into me because they're moving. See,
and not looking.
So they just got in my path because I was going. You see, I wasn't looking at anything else. It was my fault because I wasn't looking at anything else. I was just looking at the next point that I was going to hit, which was like corner of it was like kind of round that go up to the roof, like the ceiling. I think it must be like something that would support the building, I guess, but they made it decorative kind of type. So I zeroed in on that. And I went straight for it. So when I went straight for it and I blinded myself, I deliberately blinded myself to everything else. I didn't see that the person crossed, so I hit the person. And that was disorienting. Then I had to bite my lip because...
To feel your body.
Yeah, I had to reorganize myself. So I stayed still, and then I tried to see if I could find it again, or if I could find another point. But the point is that after I got all the points, I had to like see like where the exit was. And then that was when I kind of like stood close to like one thing, another point, which I didn't know what it was. It was just like a brown thing, which was like round. And I just had that, I was on that. Then I closed my eyes and I started listening to where all the steps were coming in, like where the entrance and the exit was. And you could sort of like feel where there's a gush of wind coming in and out.
Yeah.
And the footsteps coming in and out, like the sounds from outside drifting and the sounds come inside, like when doors open and close. This is like when you start navigating like a blind person, where you could almost feel where the exit is or not. I spoke to blind people about this too, because they have the same thing. So you could see like where the exit is at. I'm on a better point because I could like navigate there better. So they could see where they could go the entrance even without the stick.
Yeah.
And they could go right through the door without crashing into the door frame.
Yeah.
So you see where the thing. Also, if it's during the day, you could feel like there are clues, like the warmth of your face from outside.
In the sun.
Yeah, like here in Florida, the heat on outside, it's like a smack in the face. So you could almost, like when the doors open, that heat would gush in. And people coming in and out, you could feel which direction the feet are coming in and out. And then you know that that's the direction that you're going to go towards, because you're going to go outside now. So when you go outside, you sort of like, you cock your ears, you cock your face towards the direction of where all the sounds are coming from, the direction you want to go to.
Yeah.
When you go there, then you turn your eyes on, and you try to center in on something. Now, people ignore the people because these are just chaos, because they're moving all over the place. There's nothing stationary about like people, unless you're in a nursing home and people are waiting to die. You have to, like, people they're too much. They're moving all over the place. Then they're making sounds, and they're just you have to just go for something stationary. Like, you have to focus on something stationary that would keep still, will let you know where the environment is, where something ends or begins. Like, you need to know where something ends and begins, and then your relation to it. See?
Yeah.
Now, you can never do that with people. And that was a problem before when I was a kid, because that was when they started talking autism, because I was always chasing objects rather than people, and I wasn't interested in people as much when I was younger. And they said that, and they didn't want to, I don't know, they mentioned that one time.
But the people were chaos, and the objects were more calming and stable.
Well, the objects are like, if you want to know where you're at, or where something begins and ends, an object will stay in one place.
So you can figure it out.
Yeah, I mean, unless you're moving, everything's moving, that kind of stuff, which everything's going to move if you move. Like, if you're walking, everything's going to be zippy. Or if you're coming in and out of the car, everything's going to zip, like, it's like, almost makes it sound like, before all the dots have to settle in on one thing. Now, with people, the dots never settle.
So it's very hard to look at their mouth if the dots never settle.
You do, but this comes later after practice. You're looking at one area, right?
Yeah.
Then you look at one area, and even if it moves, you could after. This is like before that, because I told you before that that's why I couldn't get the mouse, the sounds.
Yeah.
Because I couldn't look at it was only like very late that I looked at the mouth, I know I said something when I was 9, but it was because I was thinking, leave me alone. And the words just came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And it was shocking because it was like telekinesis or magic, because you thought something and then all of a sudden the sound came, and you know the sound came because the vibration came, and the sound actually kind of matched what you were thinking, and then everybody like freeze, and you could tell because they kind of all their bones stiffen up, or they like stop. Like, you know when they say stop in their tracks?
Yeah.
That's actually because they like the
Yeah.
like the movements, like a hawk, like a bird, like about to pounce or something, like that kind of thing. You see everything there, the movement stop. The people's movement stop, because you know when all that is all that's coming into, like you could almost, you know, like when somebody raised their hand because you hear the wind move, you hear it.
Yes.
And
feel it.
Feel the whoosh, like everything's like, you know, or somebody's heartbeat, you know, or their breathing changes and stuff, or you know, that kind of stuff. But all that's coming in, and who could organize everything like that? You can't. That's why you have to find a strategy to ignore something, even if you have to like close your eyes to do it, to stop the information from coming in. Because you're never going to organize that information if more information keeps coming in, because then it's like a dam broke and everything's coming at you, and then it's like 1,000 seagulls screaming in your head, and it's like all these slaps in your face going all at once, and like all of that coming in, like, and then everything, all the sights coming in all at once. It's like all the colors hitting you like a hit in the face, and light and darkness and the contrast, like boom, boom, like almost like your eyes almost like burning, like nauseous feeling, because it's all hitting you